On the Howl, where the stars align, we build our nests on rocky cliffs. Each dawn a new mystery begins, a journey to the heart of things. Beyond the Howl.
So, welcome to the new podcast. This is Beyond the Howl. So, grab your tea, grab your coffee, whatever you like to drink, and join me. This is my guest today. Her name is Sassy, and of course, I came up with a personality for her, and it is Sassy. So, I was actually going to do a live, but I do not have 50 subscribers, so please, if you come across this video, please subscribe. Took notes on what today's video is going to be today, and of course I am going to eventually have other guests on here, friends, family. It's going to be something. And we're just now getting started. So we don't have everything lined up. This is kind of going to be the podcast room. This is going to be it. Eventually I will have my logo up there. But I do have a wolf picture up here. I'm talking with my hands. If you do not know me, I did have a YouTube channel called, Girl, yeah. So if you want to, you can subscribe to that. I have not posted on that YouTube in probably a year or so. Like I said, we're just now getting started, so you got to start somewhere. I still need mics, so the quality is not going to be good at all. We're just gonna have to deal with it for the first few podcasts. And I mean, I do kind of have people in mind lined up on how I want each podcast. So I am gonna get into that. But I'm trying to make sure I cover everything. I will be posting every other Sunday. So starting with this Sunday on up, every other Sunday. Don't have a time yet. So it's going to be kind of within Sunday. So keep a lookout for that. But as far as editing goes, I want this to kind of be like a real podcast where it's not that much editing. Depending on the guest, I will have to put disclaimers on here because my nephews do watch me, and there are certain guest stars, they can watch the first video, of course. I'm not that type of person to be spitting out cuss words, anything. But as far as the younger people, I will put disclaimers out there on whether you should or should not watch my channel. Depending on the guest, like if it's just me, then of course, like you can watch me, but, so that will be at the beginning of the podcast. Like I said, I will not be doing that much editing. We'll try not to do that much editing. Because like I said, I want this to be kind of be real. Like a real life podcast. And I'm calling it that specifically because I do not have management. And I am my own person. I do have, this podcast is set up with its own email. So a few times, if I do reach my limit of subscribers, I will be going live. But I do have an email set up with the podcast, and I do not have management, and I am not smart enough to do ads, or how to even go about that. If you do know, please email me so I can get that started. Or if you are looking for somebody to do ads, please let me know, and I will be more than happy to do ads, and as of getting paid, since I don't do ads or don't have a management team or any of that, like I said, I'm brand new here. I did have a YouTube channel prior to this, but I did not do all that. It was just kind of for the fun and games, and I kind of got burnt out and stopped doing it for a while, but I kind of want to get back into it, and it's an off and on game with me, and I do not know, I other than doing this, I don't know. So with the podcast name, I wanted to get into that. How I came up with this is I kind of was playing around with like the old YouTube, and I came up with the Beyond the Howl, because like I said, my old YouTube name was Wolfgirl Game. Yo, what is up, Wolf Game? And we are back with another video. If you're an OG, you would recognize that was my intro, and I just had to say that for the first episode. So going back to getting my name. So I was playing around with that, and I wanted something to relate, and I always used to be obsessed with wolves, and that used to be my thing. Now it's Highland cows, which I'm not changing everything to match the Highland cow thing, so it's gonna stay with wolves. I love wolves still, and it's just gonna stay the same. So story time on why I wanted to start a podcast. So I wanted to start a podcast because of my cousin, and she will be the first guest on this show, and if she can't be here, I will go to where she is. She just had a baby, so I'm going to try to work around her schedule and figure out how I can make a video with her. Like I said, she's kind of the inspiration of why I wanted to start a podcast, because we were talking one night, and I think everybody has their cousins, family members that they swing more towards. But me and her, yeah, I'm about 4, 5 years, 6 years older than her. But me and her are close. Like, we are sisters. But we were talking one night, and I was like, you know what? I said, me and you have been through a lot. We need to write a book, because that would probably be the bestseller. And she was like, no, we need to start a podcast. And I was like, yes, we do. We need to start a podcast ASAP. So yeah, of course, when you get us two in the same room, we're not going to shut up, and we're going to be talking about Beyond stuff, and I just can't wait for the episode to come up, and of course, that would probably be one of the episodes that are disclaimered and do not watch if you're younger. But so yeah, that was the whole reason why I kind of wanted to start a podcast. And prior to that, I've kind of been wanting to start one before all that anyway. So this is kind of something that I've been wanting to do for months now. Like I said, this was probably 5 or 6 months ago when me and her came up with all that, but I wanted to start it before all that, and here in the last 2 months, that has kind of been heavily on my mind. So I'm like, I've got to do this. I'm one of those people that if I don't hurry up and do it, then it's not going to get done. Why this episode is kind of spur of the moment kind of thing. So yeah, if I get the idea in my head, I am urgently going to do it and want to do it, and yeah, we'll kind of just see how it goes. Kind of play it off. If people watch, if they enjoy, yeah. So, no filter. Disclaimers, having friends and family on here. We'll go Love, so I guess we'll get into a little bit about me. I have no questions. Like I said, I was planning on going live and letting y'all answer the questions and me touch up on these points right here. And I've already started for the next episode on my cousin being guest. I've already got bullet points down of what we can talk about, even though we probably won't even need that. So I am going to pull up questions of, I guess, a little bit about me. Like I said, this was a spur of the moment thing, and like I said, I wanted to go live, and I wanted y'all to ask me questions, and I mean, we're still working with it. We still, like I said, eventually I need to get speakers. I need to get a ring light, which I actually really like this light, and it looks good. I just need to get a mic in here, and that will probably be changing. If y'all like this, let me know, and I would not change that. But I kind of want to put my logo up here, and I really like this. This is actually sitting on my dinner table, and I just added it because we needed something. So yeah, if y'all like this, I'll keep this. My favorite flowers are hydrangeas and roses, so this a mix of hydrangeas and roses and lavender. Well, fake. We sell better, but lavender is right here. So I just thought that was real pretty to add to the table as a centerpiece. So, and I got her clothes for, because I know 4th of July. Happy 4th of July, everybody. Is next weekend. Of course, I'm not going to be posting on next weekend. It's going to be the weekend after. So happy 4th of July to everyone. This video will probably be, I think, the most edited video, because like I said, it's spur of the moment, and you done heard me say that 100 times, and I don't know how many times I'm gonna edit that out, but yeah. So I do work retail. I am doing full-time in retail, which is why I'm doing the podcast every other week. My hobbies, my interests, I really don't have none. I just work, come home, clean house, watch TV. I do like to fish. I do like to draw. I do got tattoos, as I made a video on my old YouTube channel about all my tattoos, and I think the only one that's not on there is my back tattoo, and it's just a dying rose with a skeleton hand. Pets, I do have 2 birds, 2 dogs, and an axolotl. The axolotl's named Nubs. We got Radio, which is a mix between, I'm thinking, Lab and Chihuahua. I'm not for sure on that. I still got to get a DNA test on him. Nor do I know how old he was. And then we got Chaos. We got a cockatiel, Ava. We got a parakeet, Sunny. And we got Sassy, which is our goose. Our porch goose. I am a big coffee drinker. As y'all can see, I love coffee. My birthday is September 22nd. I'm a 2000s baby, so I am 25, about to be 26, which I'm getting old, and I don't even want to talk about it. I feel it. I feel it in my workplace, where I work at, because it's a lot of getting up and down off a ladder and bending, and Standing on my feet all day is exhausting. I do not like to read. That is the one thing I do not like to read. It says your favorite book. I do not like to read at all. When it comes to reading, no, count me out. I do not like the color pink. And pink is one of those colors. I feel like I'm a weird person for this, but pink is one of those colors that I cannot stand. If it has to do with pink, I do not have anything to do with it. Is blue and purple. Am I a morning person or night owl? I am neither one of them. I go to bed early and I can sleep in. If I didn't have to work, I most of the time I'm sleeping in. I probably shouldn't have done that because I think there was something on here that I needed later. Okay. So let's see what else. I do not play sports. Do I look like I play sports? No, I do not play sports. Favorite fruit? I don't know if I have a favorite fruit. I don't eat much fruit. I eat vegetables. I'm a vegetable person. When it comes to like greens, spinach, turnips, collards, but I am not a fruit type of person. If I did have to pick a fruit, it would probably be strawberries. But I do not like bananas. I will not eat a banana. But I will eat blueberries. I'll eat blackberries. I'll eat raspberries. But it's just not, fruit's just not my go-to thing that I will eat. These questions are not really good questions at all. How tall am I? I am short at 5'2.5". On a good day, I'm 5'3". That's what I tell everybody. I'm like, I'm 5'3". No, I'm like 5'2.5". I am not allergic to anything. How often do I work out? I do not work out at all. Well, I work out at work. That is about as good as it's gonna get. I am right-handed. Do I have any siblings? I got a brother and a sister. How often do I work? I just read that. What's my middle name? Okay, so I am not the type to put my last name out there, so I'm not going to tell y'all my last name. So, but I'm Courtney, by the way, if y'all did not already know that from, you might be new here, so, but my name is Courtney. My middle name is Rose. Usually I go by Courtney May, which will be together. It's just one of those things where it's like, oh, you got two middle names? And I'm like, not necessarily, because Courtney May is supposed to be together, but it's Courtney May Rose. However you want to see that, but that is my middle name. Any nicknames? No nicknames. Court. My cousins call me Courtyard. I don't know how that came about. Yeah. No nicknames. Favorite animal? I think we've already established that. There's Highland cows and wolves, and I went through a dolphin phase too. But that didn't last that long. Is my comfort show. Okay, so I'm actually going through an old phase right now. Me and my boyfriend are watching Waltons. And I mean, I've kind of always kind of grow up with older parents, and they are they've introduced me to the older shows. I've already watched all Little House on Prairie. We just got done watching Hazel. But all the old shows I really care and love. I'm not too into the whole black and white era, as in westerns. I can't get into them. It's just not me. But anything like the old family type shows I love. Celebrity crush. I don't even know if I should get into this. This will be a whole episode in itself. Should I tell y'all or should I not? So I love Shadowhunters. I love Shadowhunters, but that's not where I was going with it. I don't know why that just came up in my mind. But I am obsessed with Heartstopper. And my celebrity crush is Kit Connor. Where do I shop the most? I really don't shop. I don't have the money to shop. Most of my money goes on bills. Do I listen to any podcasts? Which is great because I'm doing a podcast now. No, I do not. I've just started listening to audiobooks though, since I got the Spotify, the premium on Spotify. I just started listening to audiobooks. But I'm not a big podcast fan unless I run across it on TikTok. I do like the Duck Call Room, and there's a few others that I run across that I really enjoy, but I don't watch their podcasts. I kind of just listen to them on TikTok. Favorite holiday? So with me working retail, there's no favorite holiday other than I think I enjoy Halloween. The apps I do use the most would, this is gonna sound weird and more old-fashioned of me, but I do tend to use Facebook a lot, but I mean TikTok is probably my go-to app. Do I like to karaoke? No, I do not. I'm not a good singer at all. Favorite character? I don't think I really have a favorite character in anything other than Nick and Charlie, and Shadowhunters. I do like the whole Magnus and Alec duo. There's a few others that I really enjoy. Favorite bands? I do like country music. I am a country girl at heart sometimes. So mostly country, but I do listen to like NF. Jelly Roll's debatable whether you see him as country or not. I do listen to a lot of Jelly Roll. Just stuff like that. Favorite thing in my house? Probably my animals. And my TV. Favorite place to eat at? My favorite place to eat at is probably, I went through an Olive Garden phase because I love pasta, but now I think I'm kind of moving away from that and going to Applebee's. Applebee's, I do really like Mexican. One of the questions on here is Team Edward or Team Jacob. I will be forever Team Edward. I didn't care. I liked Jacob when he had his long hair, but other than that, I love Edward. I think when I was a teenager, I used to be obsessed with Twilight. But I used to be obsessed with vampires and werewolves, and I read a few books on, I can't say I read a lot of books on, I didn't read, I don't like reading, but I have read, since I was so obsessed with vampires and werewolves, I did read a good bit of books on vampires and werewolves. Oh, I did have surgery. That was another thing I forgot to put on here. So, another thing I was going to talk about was, I just had surgery. I had the keloids off my ears removed, and they still got to go back and do these, and I still got stitches in my ear, which is going to be removed tomorrow, hopefully. So last week at work, when I say I don't know if it has something to do with my ear, but I've been like hurting myself a lot, which is like, it's just been an awful week. The first time was I dropped a mirror on my foot, and that was Monday. And then Tuesday, I tripped over a pallet. Because we were back in the very back, sorting, and what we call it busting freight is basically the truck just leaves a whole bunch of boxes and we have to unpackage them, sort them, and do all that. But I didn't realize that there was a pallet in front of me, and I went to go put something up, and I totally forgot the pallet was there, and my foot, my toenail hit it, but my foot hit it, and I just went tumbling forward. And I fell in slow motion. Like, I felt myself falling. So I tried to catch myself, and I hurt my hand along with my foot. I'm just glad it wasn't my hurt foot. It was the opposite foot that my toenail hit the pallet on. But still, it's been an awful week. And then Fridays is our truck day. And when I'm walking, I'm not paying attention. I am not aware of my surroundings at all. And I just went and hit my arm on a peg. And my whole arm right here bruised up. I'm telling you, I can't catch a break this week. Hopefully next week will be better. Hopefully once I get these stitches out, I'll be like, okay, well, this week's going to be a whole lot better. And hopefully this setup might not stay the same. I was thinking about doing a chair. I was thinking about doing a futon in the back, especially if we're going to have guests. This is a very small area, so I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. So, but I do know that it's going to be the podcast room for now. Go-to dance moves. I don't dance, y'all. I really don't. Okay, I'm gonna have to find another, because I mean they're just repeating the same questions over and over again. Yo, I need something better. I'm not in an interview, sir. Well, I guess that would have been. Like, within the last 3 weeks, I have been using Chat GPT, and this is not advertised, but, like, this is not advertised at all, but here lately, I have been using the Chat GPT a lot, and it is very useful and fun. What did I want to be when I was younger? I wanted to do cosmetology. I wanted to do photography. I'm just that type of person that kind of wants to do a little bit of everything. Right now, I'm trying to get into sewing. I got a sewing machine, but I don't know how to work it at all. And I'm trying to futz around with that, and it is... I done tried several times, and I'm like this point at just giving up, because I'm just that type of person that if I can't get it within the first few tries, I'm just like, no. But I can hand sew a little bit. I just made a oven skirt, which I'll pop up a picture. So yeah, I'm trying to get into sewing because I do want to. There is a lot of my school shirts that I want to make a quilt out of. I paid somebody to make my dad's t-shirt quilt. So I want to do my school shirt quilts, but can't do that without a sewing machine. But if I can't learn how to work the sewing machine, then it might just not. It just might just sit there, honestly. But going back to growing up, I wanted to do cosmetology and I wanted to do photography. I wanted to, there's another thing, event planning. I really wanted to do event planning. And here lately, I planned my cousin's baby shower. Yeah, baby shower. I almost said gender reveal. I was like, no, baby shower. But I planned her baby shower and it was kind of overwhelming. I think I done a good job for like the budget and doing all that, but it was very overwhelming. So I don't think event planning's my cup of tea, even though I really like organizing stuff and setting up and doing all that. I'm very good at budgeting and all that, but it's not for me because it's too overwhelming. But that was kind of the things that I wanted to do growing up. We had this assignment at school where it was you pick an event like a birthday party or a wedding, a baby shower. Like you just pick an event and you have to go off a budget. You have to plan your budget. You have to pick out things and organization and venues and all that. And I had a wedding. I picked a wedding. Anyway, I got an A on that assignment and I loved it, which is why I kind of wanted to go into event planning for a split little moment until I done that the baby shower. But I mean, that's not to say that I don't want to not plan anything else. For years, like I've planned like my perfect birthday, which I mean, I've had good birthdays, of course, but they've never been to like what I was planning in my head. But yeah, I mean, I've planned all of, my birthday parties and what I wanted them to be and what theme I wanted them to be, and it just never worked out. So what challenge has shaped you to who you are today? And I think I used to be very shy and quiet. I had friends, like I had my own friend group, but I think working kind of shaped me on not being quiet and being more social, which I'm really not that social anymore because it's one of those things like you talk all day at work and then you're like get home and you're quiet. And I'm not a talkative person. Yeah, I'm talkative here, but I'm not a talkative person. So like when I get home, I'm just like, no, I do not want to talk. But that, I think working and doing like little tasks or projects, it's kind of like a challenging thing. And I kind of challenge myself with like putting up the truck in a certain amount of time, or like when we have to put up signs at the end of every night, I kind of time myself and I'm like trying to beat that time each day. I'm trying to beat myself at whatever I'm doing. So I think working has been something that challenged me to come out more and get more of a personality, and who influenced you the most? I think my dad's the one who kind of influenced me a good bit, because he's the one who taught me, still to this day. He died 2 years ago, and no, almost 3 years ago. But he's the one who challenged me, I think, the most every day, or influenced me every day. He's been taught me, you know, save your money and only, you know, he's the one. I think he kind of drilled that the world was going to get worse, and that's kind of what I have in the back of my head. Like, things are going to get a lot worse as the years go on, and he taught me how to save my money, and he taught me, you know, if you're going to do something, do it right. And, you know, I kind of use that a lot at my work, especially at my job. That's constantly going through my head. If you're going to do it right. Even though I don't always kind of go by that, but, yeah, he's always in the back of my head. So I think he's the most person that influenced me, that his voice is stuck in my head on repeat. What motivates you every day? Honestly, just knowing that I have a job and that I have to get to it every day. Because I feel like if I didn't have a job, I would probably just be laying in bed all day watching TV. But, like, having a job and having to, you know, get up, having to clean up the house, and that kind of gets my head like, okay, well, I gotta do this, because if not, then nothing's gonna get done, and I need to make money. And that motivates me to get my day started and be like, okay, well, I got this to do. Gotta get it done. What's a hidden talent? I don't think I have a hidden talent. Yeah, I don't have a hidden talent at all. What is the one thing on your bucket list? Okay, I got several things on my bucket list, okay? Like I said, I've never really been anywhere. I mean, the older I got, me working, I wanted to go places, so of course I went. But before working, I'd never really been anywhere or done anything, seen anything, because growing up, we didn't have the money to do anything. We went right down the road. We'll go fishing, or we'll do certain things, but it was never like going out of state. Or, I mean, my sister did take us out of state one time for a split second, and then we came back into Georgia. But, which I still remember that, and I laugh about it. But we never done anything. So as the older I got, the more, I'm like, okay, well, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do this. But while working, I've got a chance to go to South Carolina. I've got a chance to go to Tennessee, to Alabama, to down to Florida. But I really want to go. I want to go to Nashville. Like, that is on my bucket list. I need to go to Nashville. Like, Nashville is the place I want to go. And if I ever do get money saved up, I'm going to Nashville. I think that is on my bucket list. The aquarium was on my bucket list because I've always wanted to go to the aquarium. But I think 4 years ago, we went to Gatlinburg, and that is the best place to go. Hands down, love Gatlinburg. And Pigeon Forge area. If I do have enough money, I will be going to Dollywood. But I went to the aquarium down there, and that was amazing. And I really want to go to the aquarium here. That's also on my bucket list. I just kind of want to go places and see things. I'm a stay-at-home person to a certain extent, but if I do have the money to go places, I do want to go. A lot of people is like, oh, you're a homebody. I'm like, to some extent, I don't have the money to go anywhere. But if I do have the money, I want to go. seeing a big waterfall, I think, was on my bucket list, but that has been crossed off. I've seen the Appalachian Mountains, the big waterfall that they have down there. I've walked up all those steps to see it, and walked down them and then walked up them. That was by far the worst experience of my life. That's when I realized I'm not a hiker. Do not like hiking. But there was people that was fit. Like, when I say there was people that was fit that could not walk up those steps because it was so many steps. Like, you have to be like to the T a hiker and a fit person to do all that. But they were fit people that could not catch their breath, and it was hard for them. So that kind of made me feel not as bad. I was like, okay, I can do that. I mean, if they can do it, I can do it. And them being in a better shape than I am doing it. So yeah, there's a good bit that's on my bucket list. Where do I see myself in 5 years? Who knows? 5 years is a long time. Hopefully, married, kids, a better living situation, better job, making more money. But I got certain goals in mind where it's very, I want it kind of in order and set to a certain point. But right now, 5 years is way too long to be even thinking about, so I'm not looking in 5 years right now. I got things I need to do now that is far from 5 years. With ChatGPT, you just didn't give me that much answers or that many questions. What is the goal I'm currently working towards? Getting this podcast started and getting more views. And I mean, like I said, this is not just a money thing for me, nor do I expect to even get paid from this, or eventually get paid from this. I'm just doing this kind of for fun and to buy time, and I mean, I feel like a lot of people, especially in my family, I don't really interact with my family that much. I don't really interact with friends that much. I am very keep to myself person, and this is kind of a way to open myself up, to tell y'all stories, to get certain things out in the open. I am not going to be as filtered on this podcast as I was doing the YouTube channel, because the YouTube channel I was able to edit, and I was able to edit a majority of the stuff out that I seen that did not fit, or I knew that was going to cause controversy or cause problems. And yeah, this is going to be like, I mean, I'm growing up and I'm learning not to care so much of what I say or do, or because at the end of the day, it's my viewpoints and I need them out and open, and it's not going to be the same as my YouTube channel was 5 years ago. And if y'all know of or want to see me do more on my YouTube channel, Wolfgirl game, let me know. Like, if y'all have a video idea that y'all want to see me do or anything like that, just let me know. Leave it in the comments, or like I said, I will have my email linked down below. Send me an email, you know, just let me know, and I will do that. But the goal that I have currently is just, you know, working and keeping myself busy. I think it's just a way to get my mind off certain things at this point. But I really enjoy doing stuff and working, and I'm just, I don't know. I have my moments. I have my moments where I want to get up and I want to do stuff and my mind's going 90 to nothing. But I have my moments where I just want to lay in bed and just watch TV or cry or do whatever. But yeah, I'm working towards, not being so much like that and constantly working. I make t-shirts. I do decals, which this was actually what was supposed to be on the wall today, which is half of my logo. It's supposed to be on the wall. Like I said, let me know if you want that up there or the decal. But I do make decals and t-shirts and other stuff. I try to keep myself busy as much as possible to keep me from thinking. So if I could have dinner with anyone, who would it be? I would honestly, I would have dinner with my dad. I would call him back from heaven and be like, we're gonna have dinner one last time, and I want to know everything that's going on. But if it wasn't someone that wasn't dead, I would, or just my family. Honestly, I've lost my grandmother. I've lost 2 of my aunts, my uncle, my dad, my grandfather, both my grandfathers, and I've lost a lot of people in my life, and all within, a few years of each other. And I would like to call them all back and just have one family get together. And but someone who is not dead, I would see, I don't know who would it be. I feel like it would have to be an actor, because I mean, it had to be an actor. I have no idea. Someone here that's alive, I mean, I wouldn't know. The best advice you have ever received: do not let people step all over you. I think that is the best advice, because I am that kind-hearted person, and I tend to let people stomp on me, and I just let it go. Like, it's just my type of person. I am very kind-hearted, and I do get angry a lot, and I tend to hold my anger in, but I do tend to let people walk all over me. And that is the best advice that was ever given to me, is don't let anyone walk all over you, and don't let people tell you what to do. Like, if you think that something needs to be done, you should do it, and don't let nobody stop you from doing anything about it. Just be yourself. I think that is the best advice that was ever given to me, for sure. Alright, I think I'm going to end out the questions, because there's not that many questions on here. And this podcast is already going to be long as it is. I'm going to have to cut this down quite a bit, just because, and I'm sure other podcasts is going to be a lot longer. I didn't turn that off right. And a lot of other podcasts is going to be longer. A lot of other podcasts is going to be longer, depending on who do I have with me. But since this is my first episode, and my, kind of like my intro of what we're going to be doing here and what's going to be going on and everything about me, and I don't know. I don't think I like this video. But we are going to be signing out today, and welcome to Beyond the Howl. And this is Wolfgirl signing out.
the shadows play. Past the trees that whisper in the night, under the moon, soft glowing gaze, we find the courage to take flight.